Welcome to the Thurdela Thursday broadcast. It is now the 1200th hour. Do you know what your television is? Because if you do, you probably just need to throw that thing right out the window because you can't get internet on it anyway. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Thurdela Thursday because it's coming up right now.
Up from the depths, 30 stories high, breathing fire, his head in the sky. Godzilla, 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 and Godzilla.
Hey everybody, welcome to Thurdela Thursday. I'm your host with the most that can only eat a little bit of burnt toast. Hero 77 here, along with good old Sagittarically speaking. I hope he's still with us. Sagi, are you there?
Well, yes, I am here, Mr. Hebrew 77, sir, on this excellent Thursday that we are about to experience. How are you doing this evening, sir?
Well, it is quite an experience at that, because while you're in the moment and you're experiencing it, that's all you could really do is experience it until you experience it later, and then the experience becomes more of a journey. It goes from being an excellent experience to a bogus journey, if you will.
An odyssey, if you will.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, Mr. Sagi.
I know, right? Because we've discussed venturing onto other platforms. One of them happens to be named Odyssey, which we recently looked up and found out that it's an epic journey, if you will. Which what is life but a set of experiences after another, if you really sit down and think about it.
Yeah, I've had a set of experiences this week, so to speak, man. I should have known everything was going wacky when we did our Ghostbusters Twisted Dimensions broadcast on Sunday.
Yeah, that would be a good way to get some wackiness started. We, from what I understand, I mean, it even came down to discussing possibly crossing the streams, my friend.
Possibly crossing the streams, but I'll tell you what.
I mean, dimensions are getting twisted when that conversation becomes applicable.
Oh, I forgot to tell people to check the dimension that they are in, because depending on the dimension you're in, the time zones may vary.
Time zones may vary. Another thing that I recently got brought to my attention is, some places have a half-hour time zone differential, and even weirder than that, other places have a 45-minute time zone differential, meaning that if it could be 9 o'clock here and 2:45 somewhere else.
Speaking of time zones,
yeah, go ahead.
And being 45 minutes here and 45 minutes someplace else. Oh, wait a minute. Who do we have in here? Someone commented. Frizzy's Cricket.
Well, welcome, Frizzy's Cricket.
It sounds very much like a name of a person that I know slightly.
Huh. Well, to me, it sounds like a combination of a couple people that I've once known, maybe.
Oh, yeah. But they come in here chirping. I'm glad to see they're here chirping.
Yeah. Like Jiminy Cricket. I mean, Frizzy Cricket.
Yeah. But I got to tell you, speaking of time zones, like Silly Dan, of course, otherwise known as Scare Performance.
I know I know of the person of whom you're referring to.
He still thinks I'm from Indiana.
Well, what's up with that? I mean, haven't you explained to him that you're from Illinois without the S pronunciation?
Well, yeah, I have several times on several occasions, and he's gotten my phone calls when I have called in, and hey, we got Hunter Hurst. I mean, honest Hunter O'Biden in the house.
Oh, what's up on this Hunter O. Biden? Glad to see you, and I mean that sincerely.
Crack that cricket. No, 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 no. We can't crack that cricket, because if you do that, it will rain.
That would be a cool name for a rap song, though.
Crack the cricket.
Yeah, crack that cricket, yo. Crack that cricket, yo. But I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah, but so Dan, Mr. Scare Performance, I just want to let him know right here and now that I am from Illinois, not Illinois, and definitely not Indiana. Thank you.
Well, he's not trying to hear that noise. He thinks that you're from Indiana, not Illinois.
Yeah, he's not trying to hear that noise. I got you. There is
Uh,
no noise in Illinois.
no, it's a rather quiet area. Everybody pretty much gets along. Not too much Antifa or BLM going on in my neighborhood. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, where I'm at, yeah, but up
Okay.
north from me, like 6 hours north from me, a place called Chicago, there is quite the opposite. There is that.
Oh man, it sounds like you might be coming down with something.
Oh, speaking of coming down with something.
Oh shoot, here we go. Now we got to hear all about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, I did have a stomach bug. You know, we got crickets.
Oh no. You were under the weather.
I was, yeah. It had to start on Monday because, you know, it was like Tuesday. I got that weird burp. You know how when you get the stomach bug, you get that weird burp. It doesn't taste like the most recent thing you ate, but it just tastes nasty. You know what I mean? And then like after that, you get the cha-cha-chas. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I've had that yesterday, all day yesterday. My stomach just felt like it was punched by the hand of 1,000 Zeus.
Oh man, the hand of 1,000 Zeus. That sounds worse than the punch that took out Harry Houdini.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm really sorry to hear that. So I was thinking about the name of our show, Thurdela Thurssday.
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about how it all started on Friday.
Oh yeah.
And so I was thinking of the days of the week, and I was like, it's like Monday. I know Sunday is technically the first day of the week, but Monday in everybody's mind, it seems like it's motivational Monday. Like Monday morning, you got to get motivated, and you got to get up there, you got to get it done, right? It's the day where you got to find that motivation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are you with me so far?
Oh, so far, yeah.
Okay, and then I was thinking about Tuesday. I was like, Tuesday's kind of like a try again. It's like you could call it Try Again Tuesday. It's Monday 2.0. You could essentially say it's if you didn't quite get it done on Monday, by golly, you should definitely be getting started by Tuesday, right? So Try Again Tuesday.
Yeah.
But then you got Wednesday. Well, where does Wednesday fit into the big scheme of things? And I was like, well, the week's not over yet. Wednesday. That's what it is. You still got a chance to get some shit done. It's Wednesday. I mean, you don't need to find the motivation you needed on Monday. You should have already did what you had to try again and do on Tuesday. But Wednesday, the week's not over yet. So whatever else you need to get done, go ahead and take care of that shit. Like going to the post office, paying the water bill, whatever the case may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But then there's Thursday. And that's the one that I got stumped on. I'm thinking, well, today's Thurdela Thurssday. And I was like, well, you know what? I got us to Wednesday. So I thought I would, reach out to our audience and or you for helping me wrap the week up. And what is Thursday? How does Thursday fit into the scheme I've created so far?
I don't know. I like to call it Wichita Wednesday.
Wichita. Well, I'll be open-minded and I'll bite. Explain.
Well, you wake up on Wednesday knowing that your weekday or your weekday's halfway over, like it's over the hump, and it's like everyone that lives in Wichita, whether it be Kansas or Texas, knows that they're over the falls. Wichita Falls, Texas, for example, they're over the falls. So if you're over the falls, then you're over a hump of some sort, right? So
Uh-huh.
it's like, why not call Wednesday Wichita Falls Wednesday?
All right. Well, I mean, I don't just strongly disagree with you, and I like that. But I'm really hung up on Thursday. I mean, I think Wichita Falls Wednesday. You're essentially going with a hump day,
Yeah,
and that's kind of the same thing as the week's not over yet because it's the midweek. It's halfway through. So we agree more than we disagree. But Thursday's where I'm hung up. What is Thursday?
Thursday is drifting towards Friday, so I guess you could call it Drifty Thursday.
Ah, or even Thrifty Thursday, because now you got to kind of like decide, what you can what this week realistically is going to be accomplished, and what you're just going to have to put back, till next week because it's Thursday, and you ain't doing shit on Friday. Am I right?
That's right. You just like the old saying goes, it's Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got no money. You ain't got shit to do. So I'm going to get you high today.
Well, yeah, that is a very classic quote. And even if you do have a job, you slack off like crazy on Friday. You spend way more time on social media if you're sitting at a computer than you do actually looking at reports and Excel spreadsheets. I guarantee you that.
Yes.
So with all that being said, we're on Thursday, and
Where
it's
are you
Thrifty
going
Thursday.
with this? Okay, let's hear this. I want to hear this out. Go ahead.
No, that was pretty much it. And then Saturday and Sunday is the weekend. So I mean, we all know what that is. So I was just stuck on Thursday. How I was going to finish that scheme out because I couldn't figure out Thursday. But with your help, I was able to do it because today, is Thursday, my friend.
It is Thursday?
Yeah, today is Thursday.
Well, that would explain the title, Thurssday, Thursday.
Well, most definitely.
Yeah.
And it is a unique and catchy title, I must say.
Well, speaking of unique and catchy titles, we have some unique and catchy people in here.
Please explain. I want to hear you. I want to hear you shout those people out.
Yeah, let's shout them out and then call them out.
Yes, and
Call
see
by
what they're all about.
name. Come on, we have Honest Hunter O'Biden in here, of course.
All right, kudos.
Fire 63.
All right, good to see that she's made it here.
Bone breaking action.
Oh man, I'm so jealous that you got to say that instead of me.
Fizzy's cricket. And I wonder about Fizzy's cricket. Like, does Fizzy?
Well, earlier you said frizzy. Now you're saying fizzy. Which one is it?
I did say Frizzy.
Earlier I was saying I thought I heard you say Frizzy's cricket.
No, I've always said Fizzy.
Oh, well now I see what the association that you were trying to apply. It's like a brick across my temple. Like it's so obvious. Yeah.
No, I do wonder though. I know they got a picture of a cricket there, but does that have a double meaning? Is it Fizzy has a cricket and it's their cricket, the bug, or is it Fizzy has a cricket like the bat, like the bat that you play cricket? It could be two different things. I don't know.
Is it a Disney cricket? That could be a.
Ooh, yeah.
That could be a sign.
That could be a sign. You're right. Pops Cricket. Fizzy Pop Fizzy Pops Cricket. I like that one. But no, man. Speaking of bugs, I'm getting back on the whole bug thing real quick. Because this is somewhat serious, but not really.
Okay.
My sister,
Uh huh.
who is a nurse, by the way,
Okay.
apparently has tested positive for the Candyland.
Oh shoot! And I'm as much as I would love to make jokes about your word Candyland, I'm going to assume that you're I'm with you. I see what you did there. Go right on ahead.
But so far she's what do you call it, systematic, like she's only like sniffling and sneezing and stuff, and
Okay.
which is a good sign, I guess. And her immune system will fight it. Here's my positivity on this. So let me explain the whole story. So like
I'm listening.
my her father-in-law, or not her father-in-law, I guess it's her stepfather or something like to that effect. I guess he was the first one to come down with the Candyland, and then it kind of spreaded. And then like, because they all live in the same house but in different areas of the house, like they have a whole big upstairs. It's kind of difficult to explain, but anyway.
They all are in the same raindrop forest. I'm with you. Go right ahead.
Yeah, the gumdrop forest. So I guess he got it, and then someone else got it, but my brother-in-law doesn't have it, or so we don't think so yet. And he works at the same hospital as my sister does. And you know what? I got to say this, though. I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud of her because she used her own brain, and she didn't get the Hershey bar. She didn't get the Hershey bar shot of Hershey, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, really? She didn't go up to the bar and order. She didn't get the double or the booster,
No.
Whiskey one to go with it. Man.
No.
Okay. Well, I have to say, I'm definitely I could definitely understand the logic behind that. But go right on ahead.
No, I thought those bars for nurses, I thought they were mandated, but I guess they're not mandated.
Well, give them time. They're working on it. The latest on I saw Joe Biden come on yesterday is say if you're taking care of a person who is on Medicare A or B, then they can say that you have to be on it.
Yeah.
So anyway, but you know what? It is the people that work in the medical field, especially these ambulance drivers and whatnot, because they're the ones showing up to help the people. 2 or 3 days later, they see what's going on. You'll be the people showing up in the emergency room are all telling the same story. About 3 days ago, I was up there at the tent, in Candyland, buying some candy bars. But I digress. Go right on ahead.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty much all I had to say. I just wanted to. I don't usually ask for prayers or anything like that, and I know she doesn't really need them. I shouldn't say that. I guess we all need a prayer once or twice in our lifetime. I even prayed when I had the stomach flu. I'm like, God, stop this pain. It was painful in my belly. I'm telling you, I felt like I was dying. I mean, I don't know what dying feels like, but you know how everyone says, "Oh my God, I'm dying," But
yeah, we do tend to use the term loosely, don't we?
Yes,
but I mean, I really will be praying for it. It's your aunt, you said?
My sister.
Your sister. And not that it's any of my business, but is she like, what age range is she in? 40 to 50, 50 to 60s?
Oh, she's like 7, maybe 8 years younger than me.
Okay, and is she fairly healthy?
Yeah, she's real healthy.
Okay, well, she got all that going in her favor then.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not quite sure, like, if I ended up getting Candyland, how I would my defenses would fight against it because I have diabetes and high blood pressure and I'm overweight. You
Oh
know,
yeah, I mean, but we all have that moment of thought. I mean, who here hasn't watched enough stuff to make you have to think about it at least at some point? And I mean, and that's really what it all boils down to. You gotta decide what's best for you. Do the research on your own, and when you get to a point where you feel comfortable with the decision one way or the other, that's really ultimately what I think needs to happen. But we could go into this topic. We could get real deep on it because I do think at the end of the day, there's a spiritual side of all of this too.
oh yeah.
But I don't think people show up to hear our opinions on this subject matter. If I could stay corrected, but I think everybody's pretty much already planted their flag where they're going to plant it at this point.
Oh yeah. Well, I was going to talk about you know certain facial enhancements, um, and these and for several months now, the facial enhancements were not required for us to wear these facial enhancements, but now it seems like we're slowly going back to that. And I don't want to get too deep in that subject either, but it seems like they are trying to mandate these facial enhancements, by forcing certain groups of people to wear facial enhancements, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I just like the way you say facial enhancements. To be quite honest.
Yes. Well, I was gonna. That's not the word I was looking for. That was facial accessories. Let's say that.
Oh man, enhancements just sounds so much cooler though.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, if you like accessory, we could go with accessory.
Yeah.
It's your show, my friend. I'm just a co-host.
But I'll say this, and I shared this in Shifty Sunday, is that there's on my local news, and I don't usually watch my local news unless I want to get the weather or something like that, but I do have my local news coming up on my feed on YouTube, and they were talking about a story requiring kids. Hey now, Hunter, don't use the word. Now come on. Don't make me hurt you, man. Hey, it's Crunchy B. All right, Crunchy B. Nice to meet you. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, the school.
Oh wait. I was on mute. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but
Oh, okay.
every time I see Crunchy B, I am like I have this. I want to go make a bowl of cereal for some reason. I don't.
Yeah.
But I digress. Go ahead.
It
Finish your
sound
story.
like a generic name for like Cheerios. Like, try our new Crunchy Bee cereal.
It'd be crunchy.
Yeah. But no, it's the school board is against mandating facial enhancements or accessories, whatever you want to call them. But the actual wait a minute, no, it's. Did I say that backwards?
I watched the video that you shared. Do you want me to try to put it into context for you?
Yes, please.
All right. There is a mandate coming down requiring schools in your state to put a mask mandate into effect. But there's like 7 schools in your state that successfully set up a program last year where the kids did not have to wear them, and they were attempting to reinstate those same policies again this year, at least for one school in particular. But there's a handful of schools that are trying to not comply with the mandate, and the state's basically coming down hard on them now, saying that they will not receive funds from the state unless they comply with the mandate. Am I stating this accurately, Hebrew?
That's exactly what you're saying. I mean, you're saying you're saying it exactly the way I wanted to say it, but you're saying it the way I couldn't say it. So you said it exactly the way I said it if I could say it the way I wanted to say it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, do you want me to say it one more time? No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's okay. But I do have to answer something in the chat. Crunchy B Go-Kart Bob is someone that used to come in a long time ago, and he was quite the regular on our shows.
And he still pops up every once in a while from time to time. But yeah, he used to show up on the reg.
Yeah, on the reg. The reg, you know what I'm saying? The reg.
So much so that he even had his own special shout out where I would do a screeching sound when you said his name.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of shout outs, we got Eddie Von King, the real one with a wrench in here.
Well, that is awesome. I always like seeing Eddie Von King.
Yeah, Eddie Von King reminds me of a lion, and a lion reminds me of this one thing that I'm working on called Masters of the Universe Origins. It is going to be.
What now? You're working on something and it's called Masters of the Universe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, who would have thought such a thought?
I know. Right. But no, I'm working on Masters of the Universe Origins. It's going to be an all stop motion series of shows only on YouTube, by the way.
Exclusivity.
Yeah.
Exclusivity. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
And anyway, his avatar reminded me of, King Grayskull is going to be riding in on a lion. And it's going to be called Battle Lion.
Now, you said King Grayskull?
Yeah.
Okay, that's new. I've never heard of this guy. Is this something that you've created?
Mm-mm. No. He's always been in the Masters Universe lore. But
he's rarely brought into the light, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you watched the 2000X series, he was in a couple stories on that, and I think also in the new Netflix Kevin Smith series, I'm gonna puke. He was brought into the story where Adam goes, or they go into the afterlife or whatever.
Okay. So
But,
he sounds like he could go either way. Is he a villain or a good guy?
Well, no, he's a good guy. He's Prince Adam's. What do you call? Dang it! See, I was on the road, and then.
Well, how is he related to Prince Adam?
Yeah, he's his ancestor. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh, okay, like long lost great grandfather type thing.
Well, not exactly, but yeah, kind of, but not really.
Okay.
He's more of the ancestor of He-Man.
Okay.
But in Netflix's Revelations, they made him African American for some reason, which is weird.
Well, what do you mean they made him African American for some reason? There has to be a reason. I mean,
no.
Okay. I mean, just picked a random guy. We'll make this guy African American. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a random change for just because of 2021.
Huh. All right.
But, anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to get into all that, but King Grayskull is going to be one of the characters I'm going to be doing in my Origins because he's there at the very beginning.
Gotcha. And I guess you just want to kind of do him proper justice and make sure that you have creative control over this particular entity, if I'm not mistaken. And nobody like Netflix is going to come along and ruin it for us, right? Is that essentially what you're saying?
That's it, exactly, yeah.
All right, okay. See, I was able to put all that together with my limited IQ and these fancy sunglasses on.
Yeah, even with your sunglasses on, you're able to see through that. I am surprised.
These sunglasses are like the glasses and they live. I can actually see the truth when I wear them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, speaking of the truth, we have a lot of truths we're going to share for you people out there tonight. I wanted to talk about what's going on in the world news, if you will, the some fake news and some real news, if you will. Um,
It's harder and harder to tell the difference anymore, isn't it?
yes, it is. But I thought we would talk about Afghanistan, but
Seems like that topic may have came up recently in the news.
I thought we would draw certain parallels towards Afghanistan and Rambo 3. So before we even start talking about it, let me bring up something that I brought up in the intro. This is the intro for our topic of discussion right now: Rambo 3 versus real life. Okay, here we go. So, okay, let's start off first of all by saying, Sagi, I know you studied this for a couple days now. You're well informed into this, even more so than probably I am. So, would you like to tell the story of what's gone down so far in your own words?
You mean as far as the botched extradition from Afghanistan?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody who's turned on a TV set in the past 48 hours probably heard something about it. And to be quite honest, I think that it kind of touches a, a heartstring in a lot of Americans that are my age, or even your age for that matter. Anybody who's, say, 35 years old and older, because that means you're old enough to remember September 11th. And you remember what the nation felt like when that occurred, despite all the conspiracy theories surrounding it, whether it was an inside job, blah, 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 blah. It was still a very emotional event for our country. And we're coming up on the 20-year anniversary of September 11th, and this plays into kind of reopening some of those um, feelings that you felt, the anxieties you felt, the images that were on the TV back then, and so it's definitely one of those things where you're going to have an emotional reaction. It's kind of if you're on any level of patrioticness, you can't help but feel some type of way. I mean, that's the way it is. And then you add into all of that today's politics, and then it's almost as if it's you a lot of times you with the conspiracy theory approach, you're like, well, there has to be a reason why this is happening, and it is kind of convenient that it is occurring the same week that all of these election things are coming out in the courts, that these are being decided. It's like it's almost as if he's willing to fall on this sword to prevent having to fall on the other one. But I'm not really sure 100% what the psyop and all of this is and why it's being handled the way it is. But I do know that it makes our country look weak, and it's definitely from a patriotic point of view, it sickens me to see that this is the way our country is being portrayed in the national media right this minute. And those are my thoughts on the subject. But I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Well, here's my thoughts on it. It kind of harpens back to the 1980s, like around 1984 or so, when I think it was Iraq or Iran, and one of those places were holding hostage. Iran, I think it was holding American hostages, and I think some of those American hostages were, in fact, television reporters and newspaper reporters and stuff like that. And it just goes to show you what goes around comes around in a certain way. And I think that really has nothing to do with this, of course, but it kind of reminds me of that. But the way that the president of that time handled it was so much better than what the president is doing now, which is nothing practically. And you can all say, we can all point fingers and say, well, it's, he made the promise that he was going to pull out troops, and we're all for pulling out troops. It's about 20 years overdue, as a matter of fact. But the way he went about it, by pulling them out too fast after having them there for 20 years, the country just didn't know what to do with itself. So even after we supposedly eliminated Osama bin Laden from the Taliban and so forth, it really hurts the country more than it has helped them by pulling them out so quickly and by totally eliminating our our help,
Or aid.
our aid. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I
We were
mean,
so reliant on
it's
that.
definitely a jacked up situation. I mean, there's no way. I mean, the logistics and the way that this was thought through. If they were when those last troops left, I think it was May 1st is the date they keep saying they had to be out of there by. Back on May 1st, when those troops were getting on planes and leaving, that's when all the other people who needed to be out of there for sure that wanted to know they were safe should have been leaving. Everybody should have been on the same page that we can only fortify this for so long without such and such and such and such in place. But they did get caught with their pants down. Admittedly, I saw an interview where Joe Biden was talking to whatever his name is, Caracalus or what, I don't even know his name, Janopoulos. But anyway, he was just talking to him a little bit ago.
What did you
Yeah,
say?
that guy. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
He was like, "Well, we didn't expect them to be able to take so much ground so fast. They were essentially caught with their pants down, and they look foolish. I mean, foolish. I'm using the term loosely. There's many other adjectives you could throw in there, but yeah, and it's just really it's a sad state of affairs. It's I just really am praying and hoping for the people that need to get out of there can get out of there in time, and that they do get out of there safely. I mean, when you see people clinging to the airplane, hoping that they survive, hijacking a ride by going up with the landing gear and then literally falling off the plane thousands of feet in the air, that's a desperate situation. People don't just do that all willy nilly.
No. And the thing I wanted to bring up was what ties all of this in to my Rambo synopsis is that this is real life, what's going on now, and I know it has really very little to do with what went on in the 80s, but you can draw parallels into what happened in the 80s because that is sort of where the birth of this was officially formed, because in the 1980s, let's say 84 or 85, somewhere in there, was when the United States involvement, but it wasn't their involved. They were involved.
What are you saying? That's when we first went into Afghanistan. I'm trying to get with you. What are you saying established in the 80s?
Russia was occupying Afghanistan at the time. They had turned over and totally tried. They tried to overrule Afghanistan, but they failed without question.
Yes, historically, Afghanistan has had that reputation that it can't be tamed, and Russia did try to do just that back then, and eventually ended up withdrawing, much like we're doing right now. Is that the parallel you're trying to establish?
Well, that, and I'm trying to establish the origins of the
Rambo story.
Well, no, the origins of the Taliban and how they rose to power and how they essentially gained
Oh,
control
yeah, you're
of
right,
everything.
because the U.S. was funding, basically training Osama bin Laden back then. And he was on the CIA payroll, and he was going to all the camps and everything, and being trained on how to be a resistor against the Russian occupation. If I'm stating history correct, am I correct?
You are right. And basically, America was sending weapons, tanks, Stinger missiles, um, and
This is
other
back in the
high
days
tech.
of Oliver North, right?
That's exactly the point I was getting at. Do you remember there was a trial that was conducted on Oliver North, the famous general Oliver North?
Hmm. And he said his biggest fear is Osama bin Laden.
Yes, and that's what the whole trial. I remember that trial growing up as a little kid, even, and how it commenced and everything. Well, shortly after this happened, we had this little movie. It was called Rambo 3, and
Okay, all right.
the entire premise of Rambo 3, they based it on actual events of what happened in Afghanistan. And
Okay, during the when they were trying to do what we were just discussing, right?
right, they were trading weapons and they were sending them Stinger missiles and tanks and it's stuff like that to help the Afghan rebels, because it wasn't the Afghan military, so to speak, but it was a small band of Afghan rebels who were fighting against Russia and the Afghan military. They were fighting against not Osama bin Laden, but Saddam Hussein and his. Well, it wasn't Saddam Hussein at that time, was it? It was who's that guy with the turbany thing on his head? Um,
I know who you're.
Ayatollah.
Yeah, I don't remember. Uh, Fidel Castro. I don't
Fidel?
know. That was
No,
Cuba.
that was Cuba. That
Yeah.
was Cuba.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was Saddam Hussein, wasn't it?
I don't think it was Saddam Hussein. I think it was, what was that guy, Ayatollah or something?
Yeah. See, you're going a little
See,
far back for
yeah.
me, man.
But that's what I
Now, with me
remember.
having looked at it here recently, I'd have to revisit it.
But that essentially is what gave power to the Taliban and Osama bin Laden and all of that stuff. And essentially, of course, years later, they turned against the U.S. and weaponized and became sort of a, I don't want to say a superpower, but they basically, yeah, they became close to being a superpower, and they took over.
But they essentially went rogue and
Yeah.
decided that they were going to that they were going to look out for their best interests instead of working as an asset for our government anymore, basically.
But that is where the whole Rambo theory comes into play. The whole Rambo 3 movie was based off of that very thing. And if you look at the Rambo movie, Rambo 3, you can definitely draw parallels as to what happened back then as to what's happening today. Is there was American troops over in Afghan, and the Afghan nation was being helped, and we sort of interfered where we shouldn't have interfered. It's sort of like Star Trek, and how Star Trek has a certain code of ethics where it doesn't interfere with other cultures, and for this very reason, for the very reason that it could totally screw up the culture. It could totally you got one culture that could totally take over the other culture and totally turn against the narrative, so to speak. And I
Yeah.
think that's what we need in place today, is something that would prevent something like this from happening, where you have the Afghan nation totally took over the embassy, and It's a sad situation. It really, really is that they. When else in history have you had another country take over an American embassy and just refuse to let American people go free or let them go home? And not only that, but now they're going to make them their slaves, and they're going to do mean and horrible, unimaginable things to those Americans unless we go in and do something.
Yeah, it's been 20 years that we've been over there, and they established the state of Afghanistan that was separate from the extreme culture of the women having to wear the burqas and being allowed to drive and have a job and continue their education higher than a seventh grade level. They discourage women being able to do any of the above and the religious aspect of the extremeness of the Muslim culture. I forget the exact name of it, but there is a name for it. But there's my point is there's women that grew up there 20 years. They're 19, 20, 21 years old, 24 years old. They've never known anything different. They've never had to wear the burqa. They were allowed to drive or walk to school. Today they wake up and it has all changed. They can essentially throw out their wardrobe. They have to be covered from head to toe, or they will be stoned in the street. They can't drive themselves to school or work. They have to catch a cab. They have to be covered from head to toe, and they have no. Their opinion is them sharing their opinion is shunned upon as if they're a Trump supporter on Twitter or something. It's a terrible thing, my friend.
Now I have a little clip here that kind of digs into this. I think it's from Hannity. Have you ever seen Hannity?
I think like I've heard of him once or twice.
But here's a little something, and then I've got one more thing I want to discuss about Biden as well, and then we can move on to like just silly stuff if you want to.
All right, yeah, I'm all for the silly stuff, my friend.
So here we go. This is about. There's actually a woman reporter that was reporting for CNN, and I don't think I could find it anymore. And
I shared it in that one video I put in Shifty Sunday, the one with the propaganda music.
She really has no idea what danger she's in.
I mean, she's been there for a while. It's not like this is her first rodeo, but she really is trying to. She's trying. It's like peaceful protesting all over again.
Yeah. Well, is that the video you sent to me?
No, she's featured in the video, and she's in one of the memes. It shows the images and the memes that we're going to look at.
Oh, well, I don't know about that, but.
Well, you can go look at them. You can pick it out, and you can put it on the screen, and it'll show the before and after.
Oh, hold on a second. I don't think this is the same one we're talking about here.
Oh, the one where it says that they're saying death to Americans, but they seem nice?
Oh, yeah. Well, this was also on Tucker Carlson. Okay. But I'll share it from Twitter since it probably won't get a copyright claim like that.
Well, let me go grab the actual video. It only take me. It shouldn't be that hard.
I've got the the one with the. Is that the one with the bumper cars?
Yeah, but it's emasculated. Like just in the music is annoying. But do the one before that.
Hold on a second, my friend. I think I got a better video than that. That's actually
okay. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was trying to get at.
Hold on. While I'm looking this up, can you, like, I don't know, do a thing? Like, talk to the audience or something? Okay.
one stage, this one fighter just lifted his gun in the air as if he was about to start firing rounds, so we had to run.
Oh man. Okay. This comes from Newsmax TV, by the way. So you are getting the real deal.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I put it in there too. I was looking it up at the same time you. I'm sorry. I
Okay.
couldn't respond because I wasn't on the screen.
I see. No, I have it here. Newsmax. I'm going to go ahead and play that real quick. Can you guys see my screen?
Not quite yet, but almost.
Well, I know yours is a little bit sketchy, so
Yeah, no, I see it now. And this viral. I mean, this video did go viral. I mean, it was all over Twitter yesterday. But let's watch it.
uh-oh. Okay, maybe not yet. I did something weird here. Dang it.
At one stage, this one fighter just lifted his gun up in the air as if he was about to start firing rounds, so we had to run and take cover.
All right, so folks, that, not that it's funny, is CNN chief international correspondent Clarissa Ward. She may be the most unaware and delusional reporter that I've ever witnessed, and I've witnessed a lot of reporters in my day. She still has no idea that the possibility of her being kidnapped, raped, and ultimately executed is real in where she is in Afghanistan. The Taliban-controlled Afghanistan could do that to her, a real possibility. But let me show you how quickly things changed for her. On Sunday, she told the world this. You may remember this soundbite from the show the other night.
They're just chanting death to America, but they seem friendly at the same time. It's utterly...
They're just chanting death to America, but you know, that's all. I mean, nothing too nefarious about that at all.
Yeah, they seem friendly, my friend.
Yeah.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Yeah.
really bizarre.
Death to America, but they seem friendly. Now, we called her out for being blind to the reality of jihad. They are not all friendly at all. Here's proof. Listen to how mean her new friends are now. They had the audacity to do this to their best friend yesterday.
The most frightening moment for our team came when our producer, Brent Swales, was taking some video on his iPhone. Two Taliban fighters just came up with their pistols and they were ready to pistol whip him. And we had to intervene and scream.
Okay. I'm sorry.
How often do you hear the newscaster say, pistol whip him?
Yeah.
You don't hear that on the three-letter news program.
No.
You don't hear them say four-letter words like pistol whip. Wait, is that a four-letter? You know what I mean.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Photographer. So the people that seem so friendly at one point firing shots in the air and around them, trying to pistol whip her photographer.
Ding, 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 ding.
She needs to wake up. It's not a lunchroom brawl. And honestly, as much as I think this is funny, I really don't. She's in danger, okay? My guess is she's
danger.
Idea of the actual danger she is really
danger. Danger, Will Robinson.
I don't want anything.
Right.
Here's the problem.
Yeah, I think every time he says danger, you're supposed to, feel that in your soul, like Monsters Incorporated.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Well, that's how they get stronger.
This in the world. It does. All of this is proof.
You just watched Newsmax.
Okay. Well, that was the end of it anyways. So, yeah. Naive people do naive things, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes truth is stranger than fiction, my friend.
Tell me about it. Well, hey, you know what? That's like the neighbors that you have that they seem friendly. I don't know what the heck happened. They seemed friendly when they were all in the yard wearing their KKK gear and
Well, I mean, you have to realize it when she's got a CNN microphone in her hand. I mean, She's trying to control the narrative, my friend. The producers are saying we don't want Biden to look that bad, so let's try to pretend like they're not that bad.
I should have said
Yeah.
that's like having next door neighbors that look like something from Mad Max Under the Dome or something, saying, "Well, they invited us to a barbecue. I mean, it is." They did say something about us being the main course, but hey, at least they invited us to one. You know.
Yeah, for sure. It was BYO. What fill in the blank.
Yeah, really. Bring your own self. Bring your own barbecue sauce, I guess.
Bring your own ammunition.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. You know. Yeah, I'm sure the little kid, Damien, seemed friendly enough until he started his head started spinning around. And he started talking Latin. You know what I'm saying? Just saying.
Yes, totally understand what you're saying. I was trying to see what they're saying in chat here. Michael Fontaine is here, my friend.
Michael Fontaine.
Yes, Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine. Hey, Miss Connie Joe just popped in.
Mm-hmm. And Philo Fire 3 be chatting it up.
Beyond the Heat Dome. I like that one. That's
for sure, for sure. But you know what? With all that being said, I think it's about time for some. What do you mean? What do I mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? Memes.
Well, I have to say, I got a whole bunch of memes, but it's hard to find memes that aren't related to the news, that aren't related to Candyland or but I tried really hard to throw some in there that weren't. Okay, I just want the audience to know that I didn't want it to always be about that. And as much as I can enjoy a good meme, no matter what the subject matter is, if it's a good funny meme, it's a good funny meme. I just don't want all the memes to be on that subject all the time. You know what I'm trying to say? Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
Uh-oh, I got a problem.
Uh-oh, what's that?
Chrome is not responding.
Huh.
So now I got to wait for this big-ass circle to quit circling.
Oh, man. So it's basically going to circle back with you, huh?
Yes.
Gotcha. And what's up with the president and Jenny Psaki and everybody like MIA during all of this? That was the another aspect of it that I just couldn't really believe. I mean, he comes out, he does a press conference, and he beelines back for the helicopter to take him back to Camp David. I don't need to spend any time dealing with this. I just had to come over here and tell you guys some stuff. And now I'm going to go back to eating ice cream and smoking cigars, my friends.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the cigars part, but
probably not cigars, but I just do that in there. Yeah.
Probably not. It's still circling, by the way, so I don't know.
Just close it and try again, like start anew.
I can't.
Oh, man.
I can't do anything. It's not letting me.
Are you trying to do way too much with your computer again, my friend?
Well, I think what happened was I clicked it a couple times.
Uh-huh.
And then it stayed clicked.
You can't go into your task manager and end tasks?
No.
Wow.
You're probably going to lose me here in just a second.
All right. Well, I'll hang tight until you pop back in, I guess.
I'll be right back.
All right. So, it's just us guys. It's me, Miss Connie Joe, John from America. Well, John from America, I hadn't seen you on here. Good to see you here as well. And you're back, Michael Fontaine. Where did you take off to? Well, did you have some important business to attend to? And I'm curious, Philo Fire, why V I'm trying to translate. Yes, very much would. That's a W. Yes, very much would. I bet.
Can you hear me?
I'm guessing. All right. And let's see here. Yeah, I know. BBA equals Sagi. Well, what? Let's see. All right. I think that is. I mean, we just got the most awesomest chat room. I love our chat room. Let's see. If he is he back? Did he leave and come back?
You can't hear
All
me?
right. I'm going to make sure my screen is refreshed. All right. I think I'm refreshed, and I hope you guys can hear me. Yes, very much welcome. Oh man, I almost had it. I should have known it was welcome. You're very much welcome. Okay, now I feel about 3% more or more hip than I used to be,
What
or
is
less
all
out
this?
of the loop. Say what?
What?
Are you back, man? Are you back to normal?
I think so. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, all right, cool.
I only struggled somewhat with your absence, my friend. I just inspected chat.
I see.
By the way, John from America has arrived.
I saw him just before I left. Yes, sir.
I think it's because you have that flag with the eagle on the background. He was just drawn to our broadcast because of the patriotic symbolism in it.
Hmm. Yeah, there's
You think?
symbolism in this meme right here.
Yes, there is. You might have to read them because I'm getting
Hmm.
connection issues.
Issues.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I don't see an image yet.
Well, this one says, "Beam me the hell out of here, Scotty. Idiots, plagues, poverty, riots, wildfires, locusts, and some bitch named Karen." Oh man, that is a good meme, my friend.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
And not necessarily in that order, you know?
yeah, right. Oh man, I like that.
Yeah, I had a feeling that you would enjoy that one.
Now this next one doesn't look quite like a meme.
Well, it is, but it isn't. It's a CNN headline, my friend.
CNN praises Taliban for wearing masks during attack. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they did.
uh, well,
Oh
you know,
man.
they're just so socially conscious extremists, my friend.
Well, at least they're that. You know what I'm saying?
Because I'm sure that's why they're wearing the mask is you know the mandates. I'm sure they're wanting to comply with the mandates, my friend.
Sure. All right, let's see this next one. Oh man, you got a lot of. Okay. Let's see here.
Well, you know, this could be. I could do this one. This is
Okay.
kind of like a potential future ad. Let me try to do it in my best. You know, let's see. Is wearing a mask making you feel tired and sick? Ask your daughter. Ask your doctor if air is right for you. Well, what do you think?
Yeah, that was pretty good, but you know what? You're going to get us in trouble with all these. I do have the feeling.
Well, I mean, I know air is right for me, and I don't even have to go see a doctor. What do you think?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, let me light this cigarette real quick.
Yeah, ask me after I like this thing. If air's right for me.
It turns out they figured out who hacked the billboards in Wilmington, my friend.
I like the smile, the grimace smile on his face right there, man. It's like, how did they get that picture of him to put in there like that? That's kind of cool.
Uh,
They just got him at like they found the right picture at the right moment. It's like how they do that. I mean, I know it's Photoshop, but
it's called meme magic, my friend.
meme
If
magic,
if
yeah,
we gave away the secret, it wouldn't be any fun anymore.
it would be any fun anymore.
But yeah, that is a classic billboard there. It'll reign in infamy, my friend.
I think I did this one when I had a fever the other day.
Yeah, this one is kind of
Well,
revisited. I remember seeing it on Facebook
looks like
years
it got
ago.
cut off a little bit.
Yeah,
Oh no,
and
there it is. Okay.
it's
Yeah.
got different punchlines over the years, but I thought we'd revisit it. Ate some mushrooms last night and spent 2 hours talking to this guy about his shoes.
Yeah. I think I did that the other night. I don't even have to have mushrooms to talk to stick figures about their shoes.
Well, I mean, we already know that about you, Mister Hebrew 77, sir. We have watched episodes of the Mandela Affected Family
Yeah.
and Hebrew and Sagi shows, just to name a few.
I could spend 2 hours talking to one of my action figures about the loss of his arms. Just saying.
Not only that, but you could have a compelling, well thought out conversation that invokes flashbacks, forward predecessors, and emotions you didn't even know you could feel about such a subject.
Yeah. Milo Fire says, "Where's the head at?" That's a good point.
Yeah, he kind of has a Groot head if you want to go there.
Not true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what this guy is.
I'll let you
Okay.
read this one.
I agree with this. You know how I like calling people clowns when I'm really angry at them? What people think a killer clown looks like, what one really looks like. You know what? This would also fit for Kumo.
You mean Cuomo?
Cuomo or Kumo. Yeah, Cuomo. Yeah.
A Cuomo Anata? I know who you're talking about.
Mhm. You know what's funny? Is like, hold on, let me light this here cigarette. Comedians like Jimmy Fallon and that one guy, Don Lemons or whatever his name is, and Jimmy Kimball, stuff like that. They were all just having a love fest on Cuomo. They were like, "Oh, Cuomo's this, and he's sexy. He's, the sexiest guy alive, and blah blah blah." And they were making jokes about it and stuff. And then they all ended up with egg on their face after they found out about, the women's he's touched and all that. Then they had to go and backtrack and go, "Oh, well, Como's done this to women, or he's done that, and blah blah blah." So they had to, after they had their big bromance with Cuomo, they had to backtrack and go, "Yeah, blah blah blah." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying. I don't even really watch any of those segments anymore, simply
No.
because I know how woke they are and I know how politicized they are, to a point where it's like insulting to my intelligence. Like I feel like I'm insulted by it, like the level that they think that I'm supposed to laugh on, and
Yeah.
it's not even about who it's about, because I mean, whether it's Trump or some other guy, that level of funny just isn't funny to me anymore. When it's all got narrative intertwined with it, to me it's just lighthearted propaganda, and I try to avoid it in any way, shape, or form, even the lighthearted variety, my friend.
Yeah, I don't watch Kimball. That guy creeps me out, man. He's always going on the streets and like talking to children and getting them to say like the most cringy of the cringiest things, and getting little children to cuss and just doing cringy things with them. That guy is he's creepy, dude. He's creepier. I wouldn't say creepier than Joe Biden, but maybe almost right on his level, you know?
Kind of like the guy on the screen. No, not the one on top, the one on bottom.
Right.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. In real life, I would be more scared of the guy on bottom too. If I knew who it was, I'd be like, "Get me away from this guy." But I would want to go at least get the other guy's autograph.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All right, so we'll move on now. And, oh boy. See, we're going to get in trouble for this
But you
stuff.
can just, we don't have to read them all out loud. Some
Yeah.
of them we just let sit there for a minute, and we'll go to the next one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not wearing this one out loud.
All right. Well, I think the audience has had time to view it. Let's see what the next one says.
All right. It's funny, don't get me wrong. It's just,
Oh yeah. I relate to it more than you probably know.
The next one is another one I'm not reading out loud either.
I got vaccinated, but if you get vaccinated, my vaccination will work gooder. Work gooder. Yeah, gooder.
Oh, yeah. Sounds like Ralph. I could just imagine him saying that too.
Yeah, I know. I wish I could do his voice, but I can't.
My vaccination will work. No, I can't even do it. See, I used
Oh
to.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you need like a big a bowl of helium, like a balloon to suck in. Then you could do it.
Right. If Fizzy Pop was here, she could have done that voice probably.
This one I think is pretty relevant here. You can read what it says at the top, and then, is it really a pass? Is it really a pass? You might want to think about that. It's like he's doing. Do you see the analogy, the metaphor, if you will?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Skip. Okay. So what do we got here, Sagi?
I'm not saying these guys look alike, but the first two I see a striking resemblance.
Well, now
what do you think?
Bottom there, the ones at the bottom, I see a striking resemblance for sure.
Yeah, what's up with Lightfoot? She looks like she's straight from like the seances, like in her basement, and like she forgot to say goodbye to the Ouija board before she showed up for work.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
And then who is the guy that they're putting next to Biden there? Who is that? I don't know that guy.
You don't know that guy? That's the kid from Deliverance.
Ah, okay.
You know, the one that's in the tree.
Okay, yeah. See,
and then the other guy plays.
All right.
You know.
I see. Yeah, but you know what? The donkey one. Now that's. I know we've seen that one before, but my God, I mean, that's her long lost sister sitting next to her, right?
Gotta be, yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta be. I can see the family resemblance.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think it's in the teeth. What do you think? Yeah,
yeah,
in the eyes.
Yeah. Poor Eeyore. We knew him well.
I know, right?
Notice I said.
Do you think when she saw the donkey, she's like, pull over! I got to take a picture next to this because this is just too good. My fans will love it. You think she did that?
Oh man, you're really trying to get it. You're really trying to push the envelope on this one, my friend.
This one will get you a day off of Facebook if you post it on your Facebook feed.
Well, yeah, for sure.
But no, it's a true story, bro.
Maybe YouTube people might frown on this one.
No, we don't have to say much more. I think it speaks for itself. Let's keep it moving. It's almost like your eyes learn how to see the difference between real and fake real easy when you see them side by side, doesn't it?
Now I can't even read that.
And this is the one I was referring to earlier. Well, that reporter that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Are you with me? Well,
Yeah.
this is her on August the 15th in her normal, attire. And this is her, the very next day, once she, had to adjust to the new people in charge.
Ah. Okay. Yeah.
You see how she had to update her dress code.
Yeah. You think she's in some real danger now? She would have really been in danger. Why is my screen blue? Okay, hang on. Oh, I kind of like this one. I don't necessarily get it, but I understand it.
Right. Well, you know how like Grandpa's always said, back when I was a kid, I used to have to walk to school uphill both ways in the snow.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 1967, yeah. Well, today this is how everybody walks to school in 2020.
Right.
I can see how one extreme to the other could be we'll definitely be able to tell our grandkids about how bad 2020 was. The thing is, I don't know. 2021 might end up essentially be turning out worse. I guess it's yet to be determined, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, what the heck happened here? I can't click on it. There we go. Okay.
This is probably my favorite one of them all. Do you want to read it?
I'll read it. It's cool.
Go ahead.
For all those people who wore a mask while alone in their car, the new outdoor seatbelt is now available.
Sign me up. I want one of those.
Yeah.
I could think of lots of people I could gift it to.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's funny. Now, what about all the people who are alone jogging with their mask on, or just, alone on their bicycles with their mask on, or, heck, even alone in their own house with their mask on?
Yeah, well, this product is for people of just slightly lower intelligence, not quite that low.
Oh, okay. I got
But for those people, we have a totally different product. It's a sunny day umbrella, and it's still in prototype form. We're working on it, but it's basically it's just to protect you from the dangerous vitamin D rays of the sun.
kind of like the My Pillow pajamas for people that like going out during the day, doing their business in their pajamas.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we're on the same page.
Okay. Oh no.
There's a new movie coming this fall, my friend.
Oh boy.
It's the Cabal guy.
Yeah.
The cable guy. I'm sorry. Yeah, the cable guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar than the movie that you're used to seeing. Just a few slight differences.
The funny thing is Jim Carrey did play him.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So this kind of him paying it forward, I guess. That's funny. That's hilarious. Okay, I'm just going to show one more here, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You've got to be getting close to the end.
Let's see what we got here.
All right, I'll do this one. The Taliban, when they discovered Joe Biden's nap schedule. Well, what do you think? Is that funny, my friend?
we'll go in when he's taking a nap. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, basically we got free reign because he's sleeping all day.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Almost kind of reminds me of that Mad Max reference I made earlier.
Yeah, I know, right? I was thinking the same thing when you said it.
So cool. All right.
Was that all of them? I'm sorry, I thought we had more.
That seems to be the last of them. Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? I think that was funny. I hope everyone enjoyed them.
They enjoyed them, and they enjoyed them well. And let's see who we still got here hanging with us. We still have Phil Fire, Crunchy Bee, Michael Fontaine,
Michael Fontaine.
John from America,
John from America.
Miss Connie Joe Wood still hanging with us, I hope. Good old Eddie Von Keen, the real one with a wrench. I wonder how come Philo Fire doesn't have a wrench. Does she have a wrench?
I'm not in YouTube chat. I'm watching it through StreamYard.
Yeah, me too. That's why I can't tell. Been a long time since I watched it through YouTube.
You know, that YouTube thing, we used to watch that a long time ago, but we ain't really watched it much anymore.
No, not much anymore. Honest. Why do I always want to say honest?
Oh.
Honest Hunter O. Biden. And Fizzy's Cricket. Oh,
Cricket.
bone breaking action. Can't forget about bone breaking action.
No, bone breaking action. Bone breaking action.
Hold on, let me try to do one. Bone breaking action where wrestling is real.
Yeah, you nailed it, my friend.
Cool. Maybe he'll replace that one.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I know we've got a few more things to share if you don't mind.
Well, remember I was talking about the Joe Biden with the Greg Snuffleupagus guy or whatever his name is.
Oh yeah, Snuffleupagus.
Yeah. Anyway, well, he got to the part where he's talking about the Americans that were trying to get out of Afghanistan. Joe Biden literally leaned forward in his chair, knocks on the table next to him 3 times, and said, instead of saying "knock on wood," he said, God help me if anything happens to any of these people that are trying to get out. So he did the knock on wood thing on the interview, and instead of saying knock on wood, he said God help me. And I was like, now what? I was like, I want to look up this knock on wood thing and see what its origin in and how it come. Why would he say God help me instead of knock on wood when he knocked on wood? I mean, most people when they knock on wood, they say at least they say the knock on wood part, right? And then they might throw in a God help me. But
well,
so it just made me want to look up the origin of knock on wood, and I came across this little video. I thought we might look at it.
I always thought knock on wood meant like, people in their house, they used to have wooden crosses over their doorway. And I could be wrong about this. We'll find out here in just a few. But I always thought that they knocked on their wooden crosses for good luck because it was all part of God. And then that was their thing. They would knock on the wooden cross and say, knock on wood, wood being the wooden cross, for good luck.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. I honestly didn't have a theory. I'm familiar with the expression, and I think I've actually knocked on wood a couple times here or there. to convey the point of I'm being hopeful. I guess that's when you use it when there's a chance for an unfavorable outcome. You're knocking on wood to prevent that, right? I mean, that's generally how how it's used, if I'm not mistaken. Am I on? Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
All right. So I just thought it was interesting that he did it and said, God help me. So it turns out that it originates from a Celtic belief where people used to worship. There was a tree god, if you will. And I'm familiar with the concept. I don't really ever felt like when I was knocking on wood, I was, you know, paying homage to a tree god. Not like intentionally anyway. But and I'm not sure that's even what Biden was meaning to do, but just thought it was weird that he made the God reference while doing it. So anyway, I looked up the video, and some of these things have origins that you wouldn't
Sorry.
necessarily um you
It
wouldn't
started playing
necessarily.
about me.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You wouldn't just necessarily have correlated that as being what started it. So um and there's two different things that are being conveyed in the video. One is superstition, and the other one is magical thinking. And that's a new term for me as well. So maybe we'll be able to distinguish the difference better after having watched this video.
All right.
Let me know when you got it ready to share.
So let me go ahead and I got to get rid of a lot of these tabs that we have up here. And then we'll go ahead and play the video. As soon as I get it ready. All right.
Yeah, well, you might want to be ready to pause it too. We'll probably want to pause it a few times.
All right. I had to turn my ad blocker off for it.
Yeah, imagine that.
But here we go.
Have you ever knocked on wood for good luck? This superstition stems from an old pagan belief that spirits
Yep.
live in trees.
Let's do it.
If you knocked on the tree, you were seeking the help of the good spirits, or making sure the bad spirits couldn't hear you and cause you harm. Seems kind of silly, right? So, why do people still do it today? The word superstition comes from the Latin words super and stare.
It implies a superior attitude, a standing point higher than yours. It means I have a better explanation.
Phillips Stevens is an expert on what some psychologists call magical thinking.
Magical thinking. Okay.
Like when people who are in a bad mood say they got up on the wrong side of the bed this morning. Superstitions are examples of magical thinking.
When we use the word superstition, it more often than not has to do with the control of good or bad luck. Whereas magical thinking is not necessarily about luck, but just about sort of how something can cause something else, even when there's no sort of scientific evidence that those things would be causally connected.
I made my family disappear.
It's a sort of a belief that doesn't have an evidential base, even though no one can even understand. They say 13 is an unlucky number. You know, my elevator in my building doesn't have a 13th floor. That's a totally crazy thing.
While seemingly crazy, Stevens says most superstitions three universal principles across all cultures. We all do them to some extent.
They represent cognitive features of humanity, somehow rooted in our evolutionary biology.
The first is a belief in a higher power.
A mystical, supernatural power that is found in all things.
This power is thought to be transferred through things like language and symbols.
Indeed. People everywhere believe in a coherent, interconnected universe.
For example, the cross in Christianity can be used as a personal amulet, which holds the power of God.
Catholics do the sign of the cross on the body, right, with the right hand. But crossing the finger can be done with either hand, and it can be done out of sight. You're invoking the power of the cross.
The second cognitive feature is the principle of similarity.
Things that
I know that when we did the sign to the cross, it wasn't necessarily had anything to do with the cross. It was more or less the Trinity in which the cross represents is the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit is how we were doing it. Because you would say, when you did the sign of the cross, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Are you still with us, Sagi? Sound like you popped out. Hold on. Think I'll have to go back in there and save you. Sounds like we lost Sagi. Okay, how about now? Are you with us now?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it all locked up when you started playing the video. Hopefully it'll work better now. Let's try again.
Gosh. No, but I was talking about, he was talking about the sign of the cross.
Yes.
And when we did the sign of the cross, it was more or less, we weren't really doing the sign of the cross, but we were doing it in the name of the Trinity. Because when we did the sign of the cross, it'd be the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit. And I always did mine with my left hand because I am left-handed, you know.
Right.
But you are supposed to go from right to left, I do believe.
Yeah, and you're supposed to use your right hand, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either until I heard him say that.
Well, see, I always knew that, but I never did it that way because, like I said, I'm left-handed.
Right. I mean, I just didn't know either way, but okay. And I mean, I know they say the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost when they do it out loud a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of knew that simply because that's what they say, but that's really the extent of my knowledge.
Oh yeah, the sign of the cross is always tied in with the Trinity when it comes to the Catholic faith.
Now, did he talk about the ladder thing yet or not?
No, not yet.
Okay, go ahead.
Looks like he's getting ready to talk about a mirror, though.
Resemble other things, have a causal relationship with those other things.
Breaking a mirror, for example, is thought to bring 7 years bad luck.
The image and the reality are connected. If you break the image, you'll do some damage to the reality. It's the same sort of belief as the so-called voodoo doll.
Ooh.
The 7 years part of it comes
Okay,
from
pause it.
It is not.
All right.
Well, what do you think about that? Break in the mirror, 7 years bad luck. It's a fracture in reality because you're fracturing that image, that pristine image. So you're wreaking havoc on your reality. So 7 years. I mean, I'm not saying I believe in the superstition, but do you see the logic of the causality?
Well, here's the thing.
All right, go ahead.
The number 7 represents a lot of stuff that goes on. Like you have the number 7 and the number 3. Those two numbers appear a lot in the Bible. There's a lot of resemblance between the number 7. Like you think about the number 7 supposed to be lucky, like lucky number 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like he said, 7 years bad luck.
7 doesn't coincidentally rhyme with heaven, I'm sure.
7th heaven, yeah. And like just 7 up, belly up, and stuff like that. So there is, I'm sure there's a lot that we could look into that has to do with the number 7. That
all right, yeah.
But
have you ever broken a mirror and had the thought to yourself, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to have 7 years bad luck"? Or do you, even if you don't totally buy into it, like I mean, within 3 days you forget about it, right? It's not like for 4.5 years later you're still saying, "Dang, I got 3.5 years to go." I mean, I don't think you take it that far now, do you?
No, but when I first do it, I go, "Damn it, now I'm going to have 7 years bad luck." Great. That goes along with the other 7 years.
I've got to mark out a big black X on my Google Calendar for the next 7 years.
But no, I think most people have that. They don't really truly believe it, but they just it's one of those things that's in your psyche.
Yeah,
You
even
know?
though you don't truly believe it, you still can't help but it somehow the thought creep up into your psyche because it's like instilled in you for some reason. It's a weird thing. I mean, it's like one of those things. Once you know it, even if you don't buy into it, it's still there. The seed is still planted.
Right. Just like every time I see a black cat, I stare at it and I go, "You better not cross my path, you MF or you." You know.
Or you, I have literally chose another route. Like if I'm at an intersection, I see a black cat go across. If I turn right and he runs across the street, guess what? I'm going to go straight and drive around the block and get there. I'm not going to turn right because I just saw the cat run through there. So my logic sensors tell me that it's the safer bet.
But let me ask you this: like when I was younger, I used to step around cracks. They say you step on a crack, you break your mother's back. I'm sure we've all done that at one time or another, stepped around a crack.
Yeah, they're actually getting ready to talk about it here next on the video.
Oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, there's just certain things that's just like you said, even if we don't believe in it, it's so ingrained into our thoughts and stuff that we just can't help but to go, oh, great. Well, there's, just broke a mirror. I'm not going underneath that ladder. No way, Jose. So, yeah, let's watch the rest of this.
Meant to be specific.
All cultures have ideas of long time and short time. And in biblical thinking, 7 years is a long time.
The third and final principle is contact or contagion.
Things that have been in direct contact with other things retain that contact after they are separated.
For example, why do we avoid walking on cracks on the floor?
The crack.
Yeah, pause it right there.
Yeah.
The things in contact, once they lose contact, I buy into that. Like if you in just weird kind of ways too. Like for instance, if you are just coming from the library, okay, like you just left the library and you come home, you're probably not going to be loud and obnoxious at that time. You're going to be quiet and reserved because you came from that type of environment. It's still in you, like it's because you were just in contact with it. Now, if you just came back from the hockey game, you're going to open the refrigerator door with some force and authority. You're going to set the jug down like that. You're not going to be as withdrawn and I don't know, mild mannered because you got that ingrained that kind of that presence in you, of where the environment you just left. I'm being a little hyperbolic, but you know what I'm trying to say, right?
I just thought of another thing about the whole mirror thing.
Uh-huh.
There are 7 days in a week.
Yep.
There's the seventh day Advocist of Christ.
Yep.
They always have those churches called the Seventh Day, and I think there's also 7 Evangelist Church too.
Yep.
Like that, but it's always the number 7. Something about the number 7 and number 3 because everything comes in threes.
Right. Yep. And then there's the obvious examples of what I was getting at a minute ago. Like if you have, no, you're fine. I'm with you. I totally get it. If you have a big old stinky onion in your fridge and anything else that you put in your fridge that isn't tightly wrapped in plastic, you pull it out, it's going to smell like a stinky onion no matter what you do, even if you rinse it off because it's been next to that stinky onion. But I digress. He's about to talk about stepping on the cracks. Let's hear it.
All right, let's hear the crack. I think if Hunter Biden was in here, he's probably thinking of a different kind of crack, but I digress.
And by stepping on the crack, you may transfer some of that damage into yourself.
Or why don't we open umbrellas indoors? An umbrella is exposed to a storm. A bad thing which you could spread by way of the umbrella.
Things of outside stay outside. They are not brought inside because they might bring inside some of the unpredictability, the danger, the potential chaos of the outside.
This is
All right, yeah, pause it there.
Another thing I wanted to bring about the whole opening an umbrella indoors.
Mhm.
Also, is like my guess is a lot of that probably started because people would come in, they'd be soaking wet, and then their umbrella would be closed, but it would be soaking wet, and they'd open it up, and all that water would come off the umbrella and get all over the house.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, you like if you're coming in out of the rain, it is pretty typical to take off your shoes, your boots, your wet clothes, if you will, at the door. And a lot of houses even have a quote unquote mud room where you put all that stuff if you're like living on a farm or something of that nature. But as far as leaving the chaos outside and the juju, the outside juju and the outside, I mean, I don't necessarily know that I was thinking of it on that level, but it does make sense once I hear it depicted that way. Like I can see how that would be that somebody would want to do that. Like you don't want to bring the outside juju inside because things may be hectic, chaotic, or for whatever reason just not the peaceful tranquility you want to be in your humble abode. But go ahead.
Speaking of bringing bad things from outside to inside, there's also, and I'm sure they might bring it up here, I don't know, but there's an old saying about if a bird dies inside your house, that means you're going to have a death in your family, or you're going to have some kind of bad luck if a bird flies in your house and dies. So
yeah, I've even had it just so if the bird makes it in your house, that's kind of a big deal. I mean that you feel that juju. It's a very awkward, intense feeling for you and for the bird. The bird don't like it either. I mean, he'd much rather it's all a matter of figuring out how to get him out. And then I've also had the bird hit the glass. I don't know if you've ever seen a bird hit a window before. Yeah, that'll have you jump out of your skin as well. They use that stuff in horror movies for a reason because it makes an impact on you. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. So I guess that all ties into the opening stuff up inside your house that belongs outside.
Yeah, keeping the outside out and the inside in. Yeah, I totally would agree.
So why warriors would leave their helmets outside, to not bring the battle into their home, a place of peace. Early umbrellas were also made with a spring mechanism that could have caused bodily harm to someone if it malfunctioned indoors.
I thought of that too.
Derive out of practical behaviors.
People avoid walking under ladders because it will supposedly bring bad luck. One popular theory behind this is that a ladder propped against a wall creates 3 sides of a triangle. The number 3 is holy.
There's another thing on the numbers, like I was talking about the number 3 a while ago.
Yeah, and it's talking about the Holy Trinity, or he's about to.
But I think that a practical reason for why not walking underneath a ladder is because there might be someone on that ladder. The ladder might fold in on itself. There might be something on top of that ladder that might fall on you.
Yeah, and I mean you're increasing the odds of an accident exponentially if you walk underneath it, because a lot of times the way ladders are positioned, any type of even the slightest nudge outward could cause the ladder to collapse, and then I mean it's just basic physics, and it just makes more sense to walk around it. But at the same time, this is one of the ones where the superstition is actually has practical value, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Particularly in Christianity with the Holy Trinity. When you walk under a ladder, you're violating the Trinity and therefore causing bad luck.
The simplest explanation in this case is the best one. It's
This is the guy. Sounds like Gilbert Gottfried to me, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
Yeah.
if you're working on a ladder, there's a chance that something could fall on your head.
It just makes more sense to walk around it.
A number of superstitions can be traced back to early religious beliefs, which are intertwined with magical thinking, like the unlucky number 13.
This derives from the Christian story of the Last Supper. That Seder meal in that upper room on a Thursday night.
There were 13 people at the table, with the 13th person being considered either Judas, who betrayed Jesus, or Jesus himself. Jesus, of course, died on the cross the next day, a Friday. Hence the unlucky nature of Friday the 13th.
Ah.
Yeah, see, I had never put all that together before, had you?
No.
No, me neither.
Breath and spirit are the same. In Hebrew, breath and spirit are the same word, ruach. Spirits are thought to hang around cemeteries, and there's a chance you could breathe in their spirit, which would not be a good thing. As you can see, the origins of many of these common superstitions are a little absurd. Jane Risen says there are both motivational and cognitive reasons why people are superstitious.
The motivational side is that superstitions can help us manage the uncertainty and the stress and tension that comes from not knowing.
That's why they say when you hang a horseshoe, you should hang it with the U shape going up, so you have endless luck, because it's on an endless, an endless loop of luck.
Okay.
As opposed
Yeah,
to
when they try to get to these psycho mumbo jumbo type of explanations, like I still listen because I wanna be open minded and I want to hear the scientific explanation for it, but at the same time, or better yet, I'll say, however, I just think that sometimes they analyze it to a point where it's taking away from the whole. You can't. Some things you just can't explain away. The mysticism of it is what makes it so magical. It's not. You don't need you don't need a long, in-depth scientific type of explanation. If that in and of itself is superstitious, because it's basically saying you can't just enjoy the mysticism of something,
Yeah.
But I digress.
How, not knowing what's going to happen.
On the cognitive side, there are two systems of thinking that help explain them. System 1 and System 2.
I see what you
System
mean.
1 refers to things like your intuition, which helps you make quick decisions about your surroundings.
Some set of mental processes are super fast and efficient, don't require any cognitive resources, don't require working memory, just kind of work like this. And they're basically, most of life is in that System 1 space, and you couldn't function without it.
But your intuitions can also encourage superstitious behavior. You've always been told to avoid cracks in the street, so you're going to do it just in case, since it doesn't take much effort.
And this sort of slower, deliberate System 2, these are the mental processes that require more working memory and more effort. And that's what you need to sort of recognize that these beliefs don't necessarily make sense, but they still don't stop the intuitions from coming, right? So even when you can sort of recognize that this doesn't make sense, it doesn't stop you from having the feeling
Right.
that
That's
if I
what
do
we
this,
talked about.
blank will happen.
People are very reluctant to eat a piece of good chocolate shaped to look like a dog do.
Yeah. It's not very appetizing looking, that's for sure.
A superstition, if you want, it's irrational. It isn't the dog do. It's a piece of chocolate, and they know that. Their System 2 knows that. The System 1 says it looks like a dog do. It is a dog do. Generally, a good rule if it looks like something, it's something. But in that sense, it becomes misapplied.
So despite how crazy these superstitions may seem,
All right, so you wouldn't eat chocolate shaped as dog poo. All right.
No,
I'm with you on that. But what about like if it was jelly bean shaped like well, you know what I'm going to say.
yeah. Like
Would you
yeah.
would you eat little pecker shaped jelly beans?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I don't think I could man up and do that.
And the thing is, my daughter she gets these things that you make candy in. Like she got a long time ago this toilet. It was a toilet. It was shaped like a toilet. It's essentially
Uh-huh.
a toilet, but it had candy in it that you could make candy inside the toilet that you ate out of. I'm like, why would you even want this? This is disgusting.
I know.
I was like, dude, I don't want you to have this. This is sickening to me. And her mom was like, "Oh, what's the big deal? It's candy." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's coming out of a toilet."
Right.
You know?
Next thing you know, she's got like weird toilet issues or something. Exactly. You don't
Yeah.
want to encourage any type of toilet issues. I totally agree. I mean, that's one less problem you need to have on your palate. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the general idea of something that looks like something. If it does look like something, like when you see those commercials for the Easter Bunny movies and the Easter Bunny's pooping out jelly beans, and you're just like, well, I don't want to eat jelly beans now because now I'm going to think it's rabbit poop, you know? Even though it's not rabbit poop, it's jelly beans, but still, it's in your head. And once it's in your head, well, that's enough said.
See, that was for me. That was like remember the show Fear Factor. A big part of it was a lot of times eating stuff that was just gross. I mean, it wouldn't necessarily make you sick to eat it, but it was just gross. I mean,
Yeah.
like you huge bull testicles and insects and crazy octopus looking things. I mean, it's a really hard mental block to get over. But you know what? As far as being really scared. I mean, except for when they were eating things that were alive, that part I could see how you could be scared of. To feel it crawling in your mouth, that would be scary. Okay, I admit that, but I feel like it's really just a matter of mind over matter at that point. And if you're trying to win big money, could you do the mind over matter? Is basically what it boils down to. How would you do on those kind of eating challenges, Hebrew?
I would not do very well. I'll tell you right now. I can't even eat things that are actual food that are just
okay.
slightly off that I don't like. Snails, stuff like that. I would not be able to eat snails. Period. Like, I don't care what you call them. You can call them escargot or escargot. It don't matter.
You're escar out of here, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I've never been in the position where I had to, but the things I don't like, I won't eat them. I mean, if I know I don't like it, I'm not touching it, and there's no way you're going to persuade me otherwise. Now, but if $1 million was on the line, could I push through? I'm not really sure. I think my ego wants to tell me I could, but I'm not 100% confident that I'd be able to keep it down. That I wouldn't, because one part of the rule is you have to keep it down. You're not allowed to, upchuck or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm not sure if I'd make it or not. To be quite honest, but that's really all I got on the subject. I never knew the Friday the 13th origin was biblically related, though. That was news to me.
The other thing is, if you notice, there are no 13 floors on any building. They don't go up to 13.
No, but there is a 13th floor, my friend. If you physically count them, the 13th floor exists, but it shows up in the elevator as either 14 or 12B or something crazy like that. They don't label it 13th because people don't want to know they're on the 13th floor.
Oh, okay.
But the 13th floor still exists.
Oh, I didn't know that.
If your brain
Yeah, I mean, it's like you can just skip it. We're just going to skip the 13th floor and build the 15th.
Well,
I mean, you
I don't
gotta,
know, maybe
or the
maybe
14th, you gotta.
maybe the 13th floor could be like the attic or something. I don't know.
Right, but it's still a floor. It exists.
I like to pretend like
Granted-
it doesn't exist, though.
Okay, well, if you ever staying on the 14th floor, you're probably on the 13th. Just saying.
say about it. I refused to break a mirror in real life for this video. You know, just in case.
Okay, that's in the video, I guess.
Yep, that's about it. Believe it or not, that just came out last week.
Last week.
Yeah, like 7-day-old article.
Oh, well, there you go. 7-day-old article.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
See what I did there? I didn't actually do it, but it manifested into our reality just like that.
Hey, while we were sharing that video, Preliminal came in.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, not so easy for me to say, but preliminal. Oh, and the Nut House joined us as well.
Awesome. Yeah, he said he gave us our first like. And you know what? If we're an hour and a half into the show getting our first like, maybe we're doing something wrong, my friend.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But if you guys aren't liking our video and you're not pressing like, I mean, how are we supposed to know whether or not you actually even liked it? Yeah, I'm just saying.
Maybe we should start with the Joe Biden stuff at the end of the program.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we're just not as cool as we think we are, my friend.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people sure dug that Rambo 8-bit song that I had on there. And by the way, that wasn't just the song. That was from the Rambo video game from the 1980s, the original Nintendo game.
No way. Are you serious?
I'm as serious as a hen on steroids.
Well, shoot, that's pretty darn serious.
I know, right?
You're as serious as Biden's handler picking out his flavor of ice cream for this afternoon.
What was that we were saying earlier? Like you were saying ice cream and cigars, and I said something about I don't know about the cigars part.
Yes, yeah, I slightly remember that conversation. It seems like it was so long ago, my friend.
Yeah, and a reality so far away.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying that he probably doesn't have cigars, but I think of him as more of having bubble gum cigars or candy cigars.
I got a question for you, man.
All right, go ahead.
I don't think he's going to make it. I think at some point in the next 3 years, probably sooner rather than later, Kamala Harris is going to have to take over for
him. That's a pretty safe bet, my friend.
Yeah, but you know what happens if she fails? You know who's third in line?
Oh my God, not Nancy Pelosi.
Yes, sir, Nancy, Crypt Keeper Pelosi would be third in line.
Oh boy, you know my mom calls her Pepsi. Pelosi.
Pepsi, all because it's easier to say. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically we're living under the rule of the empire. It's not a very good thing. I mean, Pelosi's pulling the string. She's the emperor basically, and Biden is Darth Vader basically, and Kamala is what is Kamala? Well, you know what? Maybe Kamala is the emperor. Maybe Pelosi's just like captain of the stormtroopers.
Okay, yeah, or Darth Maul. Yeah, she's maybe
Yeah,
Darth
Darth
Maul.
Maul. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Mm.
But with all that being said, I think we've had an interesting Thursday, my friend.
Yes, I think we have. And I do want to thank everybody who showed up and showed their support. We really do appreciate it. And I mean this with the utmost sincerity. I hope you enjoyed the show. I think we're back on track for Shifty Sunday this coming Sunday, unless something changes between now and then. And I want to thank you, Mr. Hebrew77, for having me on the platform with you. It's always a pleasure. And that's really all I got.
I'll tell you what, I enjoyed being back. I enjoyed doing these kind of programs. And, I had an extended vacation, and there was a time period where I wasn't feeling it, man. Like last Sunday, I just wasn't feeling it.
Totally understand. I mean, I think that's kind of where a lot of things are at in the world right now. I mean, it's the middle of summer. I mean, YouTube ratings are kind of generally lower this time of year. Content creation does kind of slow down a little bit, but we're coming back into that fall winter weather and lickety split, my friend, and we'll be doing those 3.5 4 hour broadcasts into the wee hours of the morning, hopefully again.
Yeah, hopefully. And maybe if things ship up, we'll be doing the Taco Tuesdays again. Maybe I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll just have to see how it comes. But either way, I mean, you could, if all goes well, we'll still be here. We went on a hiatus, but we're not going anywhere.
Oh,
Ebro and Sagi and Armor Up will still keep doing this for as long as you guys keep showing up to watch it.
and you know me, I'm the host with the most that likes to have peanut butter and jelly on my toast. So as long as I have plenty of peanut butter, jelly, and toast, I'll continue to do the broadcast.
All right, sounds good to me, my friend. Let me just make sure that I get with all my truck driver friends and make sure there's no toast shortages anytime soon.
Yeah, you never know. There could be a lot of shortages here in the next coming weeks or so. Because I think, and I don't want to make this prediction, and I don't like talking this way, but I think things are going to go back the way they were about a year ago. Where we're going to have a time period where people are going to go crazy and start hoarding toilet paper and sanitizer again.
Yeah, I could see how that we could revisit those things. However, I do think that it's going to. We got new issues in play here now with this whole passport thing. I mean, I'm essentially a second class citizen as of this moment. If I was to go to New York, I couldn't go into any public place, my friend. I could. Soon I won't be able to fly. I may not be able to travel outside of my state. I couldn't imagine living in New York City right now.
No, that's right. They have to have passport just to go to a ball game.
Yeah. Crazy times we live in, my friend.
It sure is. But I'll tell you what, in those crazy times in which we live, we could all be grateful that we have a Thursday or a Shifty Sunday to fall back on to forget our cares at the doors and come in and watch these shows. And Sagi, I get to hang out with you in Armor. And I think we all have a good time when we're here. And when we're here and we forget our cares. Don't you think?
Yes, definitely. And not to mention, I mean, I know we've said it once, we said it 100 times. If you're right with God, you really have nothing to fear, and that's as simple as that.
Well, cool beans. Thanks everyone for being here, and we'll see you guys all on Shifty Sunday, huh?
Sounds good to me, my friend.
All right, cool. So for everyone here at Thurssday, we'd like to remind you, please tip your waitresses, and don't tip them too far. They might land on the floor. You don't want to do that because it is hardwood floor, and they will sue you. So this has been Hebrew77 along with Sagittarically Speaking, saying good night, get some rest, and we'll see you right back here on Shifty Sunday. Good night, everybody. Well, that's the end of the show, and as all shows go, this one must end, don't you know? Hey, you like that music? It's absolutely free. Well, hey, snakes don't always bite, but when they do bite, oh, brother. Hey, what do you mean when snakes bite? Who are you? I'm trying to do my outro here. You ain't never been bit by a snake before. Why do you sound like Carlos Mansantos? Why? Because I'm Carlos Mansantos' brother, dude. Well, if you'll please excuse me, I'm trying to end the show here. Well, don't let me stop you. Ooh-wee! Good night, everybody. Yes, good night, everybody. We'll see you next time on whatever the hell show this is. It's whatever show you got going on at the moment, don't you know? It's the intro for all shows. Oh, yeah. I forgot. Good night, everybody. See you next time. Yeah, see you next time. Yeehaw! Oh!